Spectrum Radio.
You're listening to Drive Time on Spectrum Sino. It's Chris Makey with you till 6 o'clock tonight. Travel for you in about 15 minutes' time. Today is National Pumpkin Day. And, of course, Halloween is coming up this weekend. We're joined on Drive Time this afternoon by Lisa Faulkner, Celebrity MasterChef winner, actress and mum, and also Tessa Tricks from the environmental charity Hubbub, which explores ways to interest consumers in sustainability issues through different hubs of activity. Good afternoon, ladies.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
How are you both? All right?
Very well, thank you.
Good. So Halloween is upon us. Pumpkins have been in the shops for the last couple of weeks or so, if not a bit longer. Perhaps, Tessa, if I can come to you first, and maybe you can talk us through some of the research in terms of pumpkins, and not just pumpkins, but waste food in general.
Yeah, definitely. So we've teamed up with Unilever to do some research around people's attitudes towards eating pumpkin, and we've found out that 15 million pumpkins were carved but not eaten last year, which is a pretty scary Halloween fact. That's actually enough to make a bowl of pumpkin soup for everyone in Britain.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty astronomical.
Yeah, definitely.
So there are 7 out of 10 pumpkins carved for Halloween don't get eaten, which is a great shame because they're so delicious and versatile. And it really turns out the main reasons are that about half of people have not tried pumpkins. About 6 out of 10 people say they wouldn't know how to cook a pumpkin, despite 2/3 of the people surveyed claiming that they would be confident to make a soup from scratch. So really they're well equipped to make a pumpkin soup.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
So Lisa, in terms of what you can do with a pumpkin, other than just carve out in the middle and put a candle in it for Halloween, I know that they're sort of the standard meals. Pumpkin soup springs to mind.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more that you can do with a pumpkin, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there is. I think for most people who are nervous about making anything to do with a pumpkin, a soup is a good way to start. Or just roasting pumpkin and having it as roasted veg with a roast chicken and roasted beets and pumpkin and potatoes and onions is a lovely thing. And also to do, I do a pumpkin and blue cheese sort of petivier, which is,
Nice.
just a
That
little.
sounds nice.
Yes. So there's lots and lots of things, obviously cakes as well. But I've done a lovely roast pumpkin recipe that even anyone who hasn't ever cooked before can do.
Right. That's important, I guess, in terms of, for novices out there. You get a pumpkin, and it's a bit of a scary vegetable because it's so big as well. And you think, well, how do I actually approach getting into it in the first place?
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you've got into the pumpkin, you've carved out the middle, let's say, for Halloween. What could you then do?
Well, what I would do is I would take the seeds out. I would sieve through the seeds and then I would toast them. And then you've got your flesh, which you just scoop out, put it into a roasting tin with a little bit of olive oil, a couple of smashed bulbs of cloves of garlic, some sage, and maybe some a stock cube, and then just put it all in the oven. I put pancetta in mine, and I just literally roast it for about 40 minutes. And it's lovely and tender. Then you just blitz it either in a food processor or in a hand blender, and then add a little bit of cream or a bit of sour cream to it, and you have the most delicious soup.
Sounds good. So how long does the pumpkin last for? In terms of, when you've opened the whole thing and you're carving it up, you can freeze it, I guess, but if it's fresh, does it last for 2-3 days?
Yeah, I mean, I would make sure that I cooked it before I was asked earlier, and I said, don't use your pumpkin for a couple of days with a candle in it and then take it out and use it. Scoop everything out first, then use it. But yes, it will keep 2 to 3 days in the fridge.
Okay. And Tessa, in terms of food wastage, not just pumpkins, but we spoke on the show here a few weeks ago about the fact that 700 pounds a year a family waste in terms of food that they throw away. How can we sort of introduce and get to understand more about saving food and using it for longer rather than throwing it away?
Yeah, there are so many small things that we can all do at home to make our food go a bit further, whether that's making a shopping list before you go and just really planning what you're going to eat throughout the week, checking what's in your fridge and your cupboards, storing things in the right places to make sure that you kind of extend their life for as long as you can. About 19% of avoidable food waste is fruits and vegetables, so it's just really getting to grips with what goes where in the fridge. We can all eat with our leftovers, and we can all use our freezers a lot more because you can freeze pretty much everything, and there are some real misunderstandings around what can go in there. And in terms of eating pumpkins, you can go to the Hubbub webpage, which is hubbub.org.uk, and you can find a whole roster of pumpkin recipes on there, as well as some tips on which bits of the pumpkin you can eat.
Great, okay. And Lisa, can you eat the seeds?
You can eat the seeds, yes.
What can you do with the seeds of a pumpkin?
Well, I put them over a salad. They are delicious. When they're toasted, I love them. But they're great in a salad. They're great on top of a soup, or just as a snack.
Right. Okay. And pumpkin wedges, you can use them like potato wedges. You can do that sort of thing with them as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I love doing that. I think that it's a really lovely thing. At this time of year, there are so many different squashes, and to roast beets and squashes and pumpkin and potato and onions, as I said, and put it all, that dish is so colourful and so delicious.
Yeah.
Bit of salt over the top, bit of some fresh herbs and a little bit of olive oil, and you're away.
Lovely, lovely. So the website, hubbub.org.uk, Lisa, for more details in terms of food wastage.
Absolutely, and our recipes are there too.
That was my next question. So the recipes, how to use a pumpkin on the same website.
Yes.
Brilliant.
And you can join us on social media using the hashtag #PumpkinRescue.
Okay, super. Well, happy Halloween to both of you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.